This one is about Abrazo Partido, or Lost Embrace, directed by Daniel Berman in 2004. Basically, what this film is about is Ariel, a guy who lives or works in a mall, and the store is owned by his mom. It's a lingerie store, and he wants to get out of the mall because he feels like it's too small for him. Also, he's Jewish. That's important. He wants to move to Europe, or Poland, I think, in Europe, and he wants to get a Polish passport so he can go there. But his family doesn't really want him to go, and the people at the mall don't really want him to go. He asks his grandmother for her passport, her Polish passport, because she was the one who actually immigrated to Argentina, where this film is set and where the mall is. He wanted his grandmother's passport, but she didn't want to give it to him because it had a lot of bad memories for her because of that time. The reason he wanted his grandmother's passport was that so he could actually move to Poland and actually prove that he was Jewish. So that's why he needed a lot of her old forms and stuff. So she wanted him to burn it, but he didn't want to burn it because he wanted to leave. And Ariel's father, Elias, is not in the picture because, well, at the beginning of the movie, it's just because he went to fight the war in Israel, and Ariel feels like he abandoned his family. But later in the film, we find out that the mother cheated on him with another man who works at the mall. Oh. And Elias wanted to escape everything. And then, after Ariel finds that out, he wonders if he's doing the same thing, trying to escape the mall and the people around him. And he had always thought of Elias as a coward, and he really resented him for abandoning his family. And then Ariel thinks he's doing the same thing because he wants to leave. And at the end, Ariel finally gives Elias a chance to actually get to know each other, and he accepts the father's embrace, or the lost embrace. So that's where the film title comes from, basically accepting the lost embrace from the father. So this film shows migration and immigration in a lot of different ways. The first one, the main one, is Ariel. He wants to move to Europe instead of living in Argentina, where he is now. This is his primary motivation within the film, but it's also the one he doesn't act on. Like, he doesn't get his wish. He doesn't get to go to, or he doesn't do that at the end. At the end, he stays in Argentina at the mall. One of the other people who shows a version of immigration is the grandmother, who is actually from Poland, and she does not want to go back because that place has too many bad memories for her. She likes to stay in Argentina, and it allows her to grow as a person. It also allows Ariel staying in that area also allows him to grow as a person, but that's just because he's a protagonist and he kind of has to. The last person that shows migration and immigration is Elias, the father. He moves away from Argentina into Israel to fight in the war. This is seen from Ariel's perspective as cowardly and, not the best move because he feels like he's abandoned. But at the end, Elias moves it back and takes a place into the mall. And this is eventually beneficial for Ariel because he can get the relationship with the father that he wanted. So basically what this film is saying about immigration is that there are a lot of different ways that it can happen, and there are a lot of different ways that it can affect people, both people who are not immigrating, people who have immigrated, and people that are planning to immigrate. This film talks about the reasons for immigration rather than, well, it does talk about the effects, but it talks about the reasons more. The grandmother wanted to escape a situation, a bad situation. Elias wanted to fight in a war, but also to escape the situation. And Ariel wanted to escape his situation and grow into something more. That didn't. He could do that there though, so kind of falls apart. Now I'm going to talk about my feelings about the film and whether I liked it or not. I did not like this film. The camera was so shaky, I could not see anything. I was having motion sickness. I just wanted to throw up. I can understand having a handheld camera for like, because you can't afford a steady camera or because you think it's artistic or something like that. But this was just too much. I could not see anything. Like at a certain point, it becomes less of a choice and more of just a nuisance. I hated it. I could not see anything. I really did not like it. There was constant running, and so the camera was always shaking up and down all over the place. I did not like it. I would not recommend this film to anyone because of this fact alone. Other than that, I thought it was pretty good. The story was kind of boring, honestly. It was so slow. Nothing really happened. Ariel is still in the same place. Nothing really changed. There are better movies that do what this film was trying to do, I think. You can watch it once, maybe, in a classroom setting if you have to, but otherwise, would not recommend. Thumbs down from Emily. And that was my first podcast. There's 2 more remaining. Get excited for those 2. I hope you enjoyed.